Imagine you're in a masquerade party, having fun and hanging out with friends. People all around you looks mysterious. They're wearing all kinds of fancy masks. There are bird masks decorated with feathers, big white rabbit mask with pointy and furry ears, and also futuristic metallic masks. Let's stop for a moment. Wouldn't you wonder, why did people pick the mask they are wearing at the first place? What do these people behind the mask actually like? Is it a tough man with big mustache? Or a beautiful lady with delicate makeup? Well, masks come in different shapes, colors, and materials. Some represent animals, some symbolize certain people, some can tell stories, and some can even change how people behave. People wear masks for all kinds of reasons, and different people also have different interpretations about masks. Isn't it interesting that a mask, a piece of simple face cover, made by fabric, can have this significant power? Would you like to hear some more interesting things about masks? Well, you're in good luck. I've just got a good one for you. I'm now going to introduce you the Fawks Mask. You might be thinking like, you mean this funny looking mask? What's the big deal about it? Wait for its story to impress you. In the early 1600s, there was a great amount of religious upheaval in England. Protestants and Catholics were fighting for power. Catholicism in England was treated badly under Queen Elizabeth I, especially after the Pope kicked her out of the church in 1570. Priests were put to death, and Catholics couldn't even legally celebrate Mass or to be married. As a result, many Catholics had high hopes on the next heir of the throne, King James, who was believed to support Catholicism. But King James soon let Catholic believers down. He turned out not a supporter of Catholicism. He publicly condemned Catholicism and made repressive policies. Catholics could not stand living this miserable life anymore. Then, in May 1604, our chief character and Catholicism believer, Guy Fawkes, along with some Catholic fellows, gathered together and planned to blow up the Houses of Parliament with gunpowder. Fawkes was supposed to light the gunpowder in the cellar located just below the House of Lords on November 5, 1605. But unfortunately, it was said that an anonymous letter was sent to alert the Houses of Parliament about a secret mission, and Fawkes was caught sneaking in the cellar the night before the action, and he later sentenced to death. After the plot was stopped, London people began lighting bonfires to celebrate, and in January 1606, the Parliament made November 5 as Guy Fawkes Night, which celebrates the king's survived the assassination. This is where the Fawks Mask first appeared, but people don't wear it, they burn it instead. They make the mask, put it on a puppet, and burn it for the celebration. Fawkes and the mask later became the symbol for what would later be called the Gunpowder Plot of 1605. When Fawkes was discovered in the cellar, he was wearing a cloak, boots, and spurs, and that's the image that was depicted throughout history. Later, Guy Fawkes himself has undergone something of a makeover. In the past, he was burned as a notorious traitor. Now, he is portrayed in some circles as a revolutionary hero. In the 1980s comic book series V for Vendetta, illustrator David Lloyd redesigned the mask and depicted the protagonist who wore the Guy Fawkes mask while battling a future fascist government. Then the mask began to enter mainstream culture. And in 2005, when the movie version of V for Vendetta came out, the popularity began to rise and spread to other parts of the world, such as the United States. But now, the mask wasn't much associated with the violent failed plot of the 1600s anymore. It changed to something new. In 2006, a pair of groups wearing Fawks masks confronted each other about anarchism outside offices of Warner Brothers and the DC Comics office in New York City. It was during this event that Guy Fawkes mask became a symbol of protest. The meaning of the Guy Fawkes mask shifted from a symbol of failure to a symbol of protest since then. The group also adapted the mask. If you search the word hacker for images, you'll probably see their symbols in the results, which is a suited man without a head. Ring any bells? It is the notorious hacker group, Anonymous. In 2008, they need something to protect themselves in the protest that aimed at tearing down the Church of Scientology. When they see the Guy Fawkes masks, they're like, this is exactly what we're looking for. And then they further developed the trend of using the Guy Fawkes mask as protest. As the protests continued, more protesters began to use the Guy Fawkes mask, which eventually the mask became a symbolic status within the group. Anonymous has become a huge organization that spans across the United States, and the masks has been made a symbol of anti-establishment movement across the world. When people are not happy, the Guy Fawkes mask appears in mass. An excellent and famous example of this appearance is the Occupy Wall Street movement. In 2011, an anonymous invitation on Facebook strongly urged Occupy protesters to come together on November the 5th with the mask on to rally against corruption and social injustice. It got huge international attention. With that movement, they were using the mask almost as a form of branding. It also offers practical value by hiding protesters' identities. For the past few years, the symbolism of the mask outside its early association continues to grow along with many social movements that are meant to address social issues. The mask has been stylized as it has evolved into a symbol of protest over the years. From being burned on Guy Fawkes Night for treason, to being used in the Occupy movement of Wall Street for injustice. The mask has brought the spirit of Fawkes' Parliament blowing up days to the present. Its meaning has been shaped and refigured by culture, tradition, and selection throughout history. Well, guess what? There's a word for things like this. It is called cultural object. The mask tells stories, and those stories are interpreted in numerous different ways. The significance of cultural objects varies from individual to individual, as well as location and time. Just like how people in the past see the mask compared to how we see it now. Maybe in the future, something happens, and the Guy Fawkes mask may get a new meaning. Who knows?